Alright, back at it with another reading blog. I've been reading quite a lot and somehow been stalling on these 150s, but I'm still plugging at them, getting them done. Let's keep going. I mean, I'm doing my best here. I didn't even clock it last time, but the two that I had last time, Holy Terrors and the Terrors of Ice and Darkness, they're both terrors. It was the month of terror and I didn't even clock it, but reviews. Cocteau's Holy Terrors very much reminded me of kind of Grey Gardens, if you've ever seen that film. Very weird doc. Very much in that kind of like vein of, in this case, it was a brother and sister who, not a mother-daughter situation, but a brother-sister who kind of, their parents die and they kind of inherit a home, and sort of their weird codependence and hypochondria and all that sort of like coalesce into this this weird relationship. And then there's sort of this kind of friend of theirs who's kind of encapsulated within it. Kind of a difficult one to, like, in a way, like, rationalize how these people behave, because they're so unlike what you would do. But sort of, I do really understand the notion of the one friend just kind of like really being like sucked into this whirlwind of their just like the vortex of friendship. And even though you know they're acting irrationally, you're still like just a part of it. It's just like, this is the world. The world is the world that they've created is just the world that it is, rational or not. It was good. I was hoping it'd be gayer, but it wasn't. But Cocteau's Holy Terrors. And then I read Christoph Ransmayr's The Terrors of Ice and Darkness. I had a hard time with this one. Essentially, it is about a like retelling of kind of a 18th century Arctic journey, and sort of another guy's like fascination with it and trying to like recreate it, and sort of these two narratives intertwine and intermingle. And I kind of found it jarring in that it was rarely clear which narrative we were following. All of a sudden we were in the 18th century, and then people are using phones and watching TV, and I had a little difficulty with it. Kind of the coolest thing about it was there's like moments when it would just be like lists of like failed Arctic journeys. There's really cool instances of like wood prints. And I was, so when I like initially picked this up, I was almost kind of expecting it to be like a Northern Passage tale, but kind of mixed with like Sebald's narratives. You know, like Sebald's intertwining of pictures and narratives and things like that. Maybe I kind of, as a Canadian, just didn't quite get it. The idea of the cold being like this like daunting terror is just, as a Canadian, something we just deal with all the time. And I've been to the territories and they're cold, but I know like even like this is a German novel, German writer, but like that's kind of a major figure of Canadian lit as well, just like overcoming this like daunting wilderness. But I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to it that the notion of terror and fear of and overwhelmingness of the wilderness is one that's lost on me. So yeah, those kind of, especially for Canadian lit, those narratives of daunting wilderness, to me, I don't, despite being enmeshed in it, they don't clock for me. I don't get them. So maybe it was just like not the right book for me. So far in my 150, these ones are kind of both middle of the road so far, but I've got a couple more that I'm going to select right now. You are right here.
My Unwritten Books, George Steiner.
Then you are here. Okay, I've got two of them. Somehow that George Steiner one, I don't know where it is. I can't seem to find it. like, you know, if you see the stacks that are around me, the shelves, you've kind of given like the slightest tour. To do a tour of the shelves, I do them thematically as opposed to, you know, alphabetized by last name. Like, you know, we've got, there's a lot of German stuff here. There's a lot of Ulipian stuff right there. So that's kind of how it organizes. So this George Steiner one, I thought I had it with kind of like books about books section upstairs. I'll find it. Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner by Alan Sillitoe. I've definitely seen the film of this a long time ago, but it doesn't factor prominently in my memory. Kind of when I was going through, I don't know, like an AFI list of like best movies or something. This cover alone, look at this. It's so good, which is why I had to snag this one. It's been on the list for a while, so it's good to actually get it. Sort of a coming-of-age tale about a kid who lives in group homes or young offenders' homes, and then kind of the way he gets through it is by running long distances and sort of like tuning out that part of his life. So I've already started this one in the meantime before we got to this video, just so I could try to keep up on those 150s, you know. Also, Robert Walser's assistant. I've got a number of unread Walsers. I've read, you know, maybe 2 or 3 so far, 3 or 4, and I've been tracking them down to have them, intending to get to them. So I'm actually pretty pleased with these ones. These couple of New Directions reissues look really nice, so excited about those. And then I will also get to the George Steiner as well. I'll show that off. You'll see that next video, but I'll track it down in the meantime. I'm gonna do another, because I've been even though these videos have been coming out much more sporadically, I'm trying to hit that 150 pretty gnarly. I've been reading a lot more in the meantime, so I might just do like a reading video in the meanwhile. But in any case, keep reading. I'm gonna try my best to keep up with this 150. I know I'm already behind for the year, to try to get to that 25. I think this is, I don't know, we're already half past the year and I've hit 11 or whatever. So we are doing our best to keep up. Doesn't matter. Still plowing through it, being late or not. Fine, read books. Let me know what you think. Bye. Hold on a second. There you are. Stop the presses, I found it. It was in the piles. I was obviously doing some reorganizing and missed it. George Steiner's mind-written books. I might have mentioned it before, but the love of books about books. Probably my favorite genre of book. You know, it's not speculative or whatever, it's books about books. In this case, this one is 7 books that this writer intended to write but didn't, and kind of the stories of the books that never got finished. Love that concept. Quite excited to read this one. I have another of George Steiner's in the stacks about like a chess narrative of some sort, some like Cold War thing. I don't think it was like one of the Bobby Fischer ones, but I'll find that and I'll tell you about that next time. But I found this one. Here it is.